Some of the most commonly consumed fish, which we often believe contribute positively to our health, may in fact pose more risks than benefits. Imagine being informed that specific fish might be gradually undermining your health, subtly affecting your memory, your nervous system, and even your heart, all without your awareness until it becomes critical. Interestingly, many individuals remain unaware of this fact. As we progress through life, our bodies become less efficient at filtering out toxins as they once did. Marketed as premium, professionals confidently endorse. Longer the case, is possible that these fish are not part of your daily diet. Occur occasionally, such as at a family barbecue, church potluck, or during your regular dining experience. However, those small instances, they accumulate, particularly when your body exhibits heightened sensitivity to its intake. I am not here to instill fear, but rather to provide a cautionary message. If you are over 60 or are responsible for the care of someone in that age group, this information is essential for safeguarding your long-term health. In today's video, I will guide you through 6 types of fish that should be avoided by older adults under any circumstances. What aspect of the video did you find most enjoyable? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. If you find the content enjoyable, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and activating the notification bell to stay updated on new releases. These are not mere assumptions. This information is derived from health research, real case studies, and the recommendations that nutritionists are discreetly advising older individuals to steer clear of. It is likely that some of these items are currently in your refrigerator. Various options are available on menus nationwide. And one of those? Number 4 is likely to be the most surprising to you. By the conclusion of this video, you will have a clear understanding of what to avoid and the reasons behind it. Most importantly, you will have access to superior, safer, and more intelligent alternatives that allow you to enjoy your choices without compromising on taste or health. Before we proceed, I would like to pose a straightforward question. If you are present due to your concern for your health or the well-being of a loved one, please leave a brief comment below stating, "I'm here." This indicates that the message is being delivered to the appropriate audience. Please remember to subscribe to Holistic Health if you have not done so already. Every day, we provide valuable insights that empower older adults to enhance their longevity, strength, and knowledge. Are you prepared to proceed? We will discuss the 6 fish that warrant your attention, beginning with one that is frequently lauded for its taste, yet poses hidden risks for older individuals. King mackerel. Consider this scenario. Your grandfather has consistently held the esteemed role of the grill master within the family. Each Sunday, he can be found on the patio, expertly grilling thick, juicy fillets of king mackerel. He strongly endorses it. It is beneficial for cardiovascular health and cognitive function. It is important to acknowledge that fish can be quite favorable, particularly when selecting the appropriate variety. However, as time progresses, you begin to observe a distinct change in him. He appears to be experiencing greater fatigue than normal. He tends to overlook basic details, such as names, appointments, and the location of the remote control. At times, his hands exhibit a slight tremor when he raises his coffee cup in the morning. Initially, one may attribute it to the natural process of aging. It's simply a facet of the aging process, isn't it? However, what if it is not the case? What if the very element he believed was contributing to his well-being was, in fact, gradually inflicting more damage than he ever anticipated? Here is the essential information you should be aware of. King mackerel is known to have high mercury levels among fish species. Mercury is classified as a heavy metal, and during youth, the body typically exhibits greater resilience. As we age, our capacity to eliminate toxins such as mercury diminishes. This indicates that it accumulates silently as time progresses, until it begins to influence your cognitive processes, emotional state, and even your physiological functions. Excessive mercury exposure in seniors can lead to significant cognitive decline, nerve damage, impaired coordination, and potential cardiovascular complications. However, this is where many individuals often misunderstand the situation. There is often confusion between king mackerel and Atlantic mackerel. It appears to be quite comparable, does it not? However, they exhibit significant differences. Atlantic mackerel is a safer option, lower in mercury, higher in nutrients, and is indeed a suitable choice for older adults. However, king mackerel, it is a deceptive health risk. No one appears to be raising any concerns regarding this matter. If it is currently stored in your freezer, if it is a regular selection at the seafood counter, it may be an appropriate moment to consider an alternative. It is not necessary to completely eliminate fish from your diet. Absolutely not. There are superior options that are both enjoyable and secure. Consider opting for wild-caught salmon or sardines in place of king mackerel. Both are abundant in omega-3 fatty acids, low in mercury content, and highly beneficial for cognitive and cardiovascular health. They represent not only enhanced safety, but also more informed decisions for sustained well-being. It is important to recognize that, at this stage of life, food considerations extend beyond mere taste. It is essential to safeguard your future, one meal at a time. However, mercury is not the sole threat present in your seafood. Certain fish pose a distinct threat, targeting your immune system and subtly undermining your natural defenses at critical times. We will now discuss the second type of fish that older adults should avoid, which is tilefish. It is important to note that when it comes to tilefish, you may not even be aware that you are consuming it. It is quite cunning. As you take a seat at an elegant restaurant, perhaps in honor of a birthday, an anniversary, or simply enjoying a special evening, you notice the white fish or catch of the day featured on the menu. It appears quite harmless, does it not? Delicate and airy, potentially prepared on the grill with a lemon butter sauce. One might assume that seafood is inherently beneficial for health. However, it is not always disclosed that the fish in question may indeed be tilefish. What about tilefish? This is a matter of concern, particularly for individuals aged 60 and above. I would like to clarify the reasons behind this. Tilefish, especially those sourced from the Gulf of Mexico, exhibit some of the highest mercury concentrations among fish species. We are discussing levels that exceed those of king mackerel. For older adults, this represents a significant issue. Mercury is not merely a subject of alarming documentaries. It is a tangible reality. When it accumulates in your system, it begins to impact your neurological health. This refers to your cognitive processes, your account balance, your recollection, your mood as well. Prolonged exposure to mercury toxicity may result in symptoms such as numbness, confusion, memory impairment, and in certain individuals, manifestations resembling dementia. What exacerbates this situation? Tilefish frequently appears on menus as a high-end selection. It may be associated with an increased cost, an enhanced presentation, an exotic-sounding name. However, high cost does not necessarily equate to health benefits. In this instance, the situation is entirely reversed. When dining out, it is advisable to inquire about the specific type of whitefish being served. Please feel free to express yourself. You are entitled to be informed about the contents of your plate. If tilefish is mentioned, kindly decline. Inquire whether they offer a safer option, such as cod or haddock. Both options are gentle on the digestive system and contain significantly lower levels of mercury. Your body, particularly your brain, will appreciate the benefits of this decision. Third fish, swordfish. This particular item indeed conveys a distinct image, does it not? Swordfish is not commonly featured in typical daily meals. It is present at sophisticated dinners, possibly aboard a cruise ship, or during family gatherings at upscale restaurants. It is not unusual to hear an older parent or grandparent express, "I will indulge this time, I will choose the swordfish." It appears to be quite luxurious, rich in taste, exceptional. In their perspective, it may be perceived as a beneficial indulgence. However, it is important to note that this seemingly harmless indulgence may be silently contributing to long-term health issues. Swordfish ranks among the longest living and largest predatory fish found in the ocean. As a result, it takes years to accumulate mercury and other toxins from the food chain. By the time it reaches your plate, that exquisite fillet may contain elevated levels of mercury. It is important to note that mercury does not simply pass through your system and vanish. Particularly in older adults whose metabolism has decreased, it remains in the body. Could you please clarify the destination? Regarding the kidneys, the nervous system, and the brain. This indicates a heightened risk of nerve damage, memory complications, tremors, and cognitive deterioration. If you or a loved one has a history of kidney strain, high blood pressure, or neurological issues, it is advisable to consider that swordfish may exacerbate these conditions. Many individuals operate under the assumption that thorough grilling will eliminate any harmful elements, correct? Regrettably, That is not the operational principle of mercury. It cannot be eliminated through cooking. It cannot be masked by seasoning. Mercury remains present in the meat, regardless of whether it is raw, baked, or flame-grilled. What alternatives are available? If you or someone you care about appreciates a robust, flavorful fish, there are more secure options available that maintain the essence of taste. Consider sampling trout, particularly rainbow trout, or pollock. Both options are characterized by their mild flavor, flaky texture, and straightforward preparation process. They contain minimal mercury, are rich in beneficial fats, and are significantly more considerate of aging organs. It involves making strategic exchanges, replacing a risky option with a more beneficial one. At this point in life, food transcends mere enjoyment. It serves a vital role in safeguarding health. In relation to risks, imagine if I informed you that the upcoming fish is one you are likely familiar with from various sushi menus, seafood platters, and upscale buffets. It is elegantly designed, well regarded, a preferred choice for enthusiasts of seafood. However, regarding older adults, it could potentially pose a similar level of risk as the previous three, if not greater. The fourth fish is ahi tuna, commonly referred to as big eye tuna. This may come as a surprise to you. Sushi nights have evolved to appeal to a broader audience beyond just the younger demographic. It is likely that you have observed, or perhaps even participated in, the experience of older acquaintances, parents, or yourself enjoying a fresh sushi platter. This is a social experience. The experience is invigorating, contemporary, and conveys a sense of vitality and well-being. At the forefront of the presentation lies a stunning slice of deep red ahi tuna. However, it is important to consider that ahi tuna may not be as beneficial for your body as commonly believed. For older adults, it can indeed present a significant health risk. Let us analyze it in detail. Big eye tuna are known for their longevity and ability to swim at great depths. Similar to swordfish, it occupies a prominent position in the food chain, resulting in a higher accumulation of mercury compared to numerous other fish species. In contrast to swordfish, ahi tuna is frequently consumed in its raw form. This introduces an additional concern: bacteria. During youth, when the immune system is robust, the body may effectively manage occasional exposure to bacteria present in raw fish. However, as we grow older, the immune system naturally experiences a decline in strength over time. A low-grade bacterial infection from raw tuna can have significant consequences, lasting longer and posing greater risks than one might expect. We are discussing issues such as salmonella, listeria, and various parasites that the body is increasingly unable to combat effectively. What are the implications of combining mercury exposure with bacterial risk? That represents a significant challenge to an aging body. Many individuals mistakenly believe that all tuna varieties are identical. One might perceive tuna on a label as a reliable choice. However, there is a significant distinction between the categories: big eye and albacore tuna. They are included on the high mercury list. These are the selections typically featured in gourmet sushi rolls or premium seared tuna steaks. While they may offer a rich flavor, the associated risks should not be overlooked. Conversely, skipjack tuna, commonly referred to as light tuna in canned products, is significantly safer. It contains reduced levels of mercury, is more cost-effective, and facilitates easier portioning. I would like to propose the following recommendations. If you appreciate tuna, or are responsible for someone who does, opt for canned light tuna as a preferred choice. Limit consumption to a maximum of 2 servings per week for seniors, and prioritize cooked options over raw whenever feasible. This is a straightforward adjustment, yet it has the potential to significantly enhance awareness of concealed health risks. Now, let us transition to a different focus. The next fish we are going to discuss is as follows. It is not merely a regular grocery store, it enjoys remarkable popularity globally. However, many individuals are unaware that it is frequently cultivated under conditions that are highly questionable and potentially toxic. What about seniors? This is a concerning issue that warrants our attention. Please comment number 1 if you relate to this situation, or number 2 if you find this information useful. Additionally, if this video prompts reflection. Fish number 5 is farmed salmon. This is a familiar sight. Upon entering your neighborhood grocery store, a meticulously presented fillet of salmon is showcased prominently. The color is a vibrant pink. The price has been reduced, And one might consider this a great deal, as salmon is known for its health benefits, correct? However, it is important to note that not all salmon is of the same quality. If the salmon is farmed, particularly from regions with less stringent regulations such as Chile or certain areas in Southeast Asia, it may contain more than just protein and omega-3 fatty acids. I would like to provide an explanation. Farmed salmon are cultivated in densely populated underwater enclosures, where numerous fish inhabit confined areas, consuming pellets composed of substandard ingredients. The circumstances foster an ideal environment for the proliferation of diseases and parasites. To mitigate the risk of outbreaks, these fish are frequently administered antibiotics, and in certain instances, they are treated with chemical colorants to enhance the appearance of the flesh, as it would otherwise present a gray hue. However, the situation deteriorates further. Is that the same feed they are provided? It is frequently found to be contaminated with PCBs, polychlorinated biphenyls, and dioxins. These industrial chemicals are associated with serious health risks, including cancer, hormone disruption, and damage to the immune system. Consider the impact on an elderly body, which is inherently more sensitive and vulnerable. The presence of these chemicals may lead to inflammation, exacerbate arthritis, and impose further stress on the cardiovascular system. Nonetheless, a significant number of individuals continue to hold the belief that all salmon is the same. Upon hearing about omega-3s, individuals often believe they are making a beneficial choice. However, it is important to acknowledge that farm-raised salmon may pose more risks than benefits, particularly when consumed on a consistent basis. What is the proposed solution? Seek out wild-caught Alaskan salmon. It is more refined, streamlined, and enriched with naturally occurring omega-3 fatty acids. It originates from untainted waters and is harvested using methods that minimize exposure to various chemicals and risks associated with aquaculture. While it may be slightly more costly, prioritizing your health or that of your loved ones is a worthwhile investment. This leads us to the concluding fish on our list, one that may evoke a range of emotions. For numerous seniors, this upcoming fish represents more than mere sustenance. It embodies a sense of comfort, an experience reminiscent of history, a reminder of one's residence. In the contemporary landscape, even comfort food is accompanied by advisories. Imagine your grandfather in the kitchen, expertly frying a batch of crispy catfish, just as he always did. This is a customary practice observed on weekends, a beloved choice among family members. The aroma evokes a sense of nostalgia, recalling moments of joy and unity from childhood. However, what if I were to inform you? The same catfish, if imported, may pose significant risks to him. We are facing an issue. Imported catfish, particularly those sourced from certain regions in Asia, are frequently cultivated in unregulated fish farms characterized by inadequate sanitation and dubious practices. These farms utilize antibiotics and chemicals to prevent the onset of diseases. However, numerous antibiotics are prohibited in the U.S. due to their association with antibiotic resistance and potential long-term health complications. When a senior consumes catfish from certain sources, they may be exposing themselves to drug-resistant bacteria that their immune system may not be equipped to manage. It is important to note that older adults typically exhibit a diminished immune response. A condition that may result in only minor stomach discomfort for a younger individual could potentially result in severe illness, hospitalization, or more serious consequences for someone aged 65 and older. Nonetheless, individuals opt for it due to its cost-effectiveness, accessibility, and availability in larger quantities. However, that reduced price, there are underlying expenses associated with it. What is the most secure route available? If you or your family appreciate catfish, it is advisable to choose U.S.-farmed varieties. The standards for fish farming in the United States are significantly more stringent, featuring enhanced water quality, regulated feed, and restricted use of antibiotics. Regardless of the source, ensure that it is thoroughly cooked. Properly prepared catfish can mitigate the risk of bacterial contamination, particularly for individuals with slower digestive systems or chronic health conditions. Comfort food ought to provide solace, not risk. Having reviewed these 6 types of fish that older adults should refrain from consuming, it is time to take a moment of reflection. Consider the implications this holds for your well-being, or for the well-being of someone you value. Every item on this list represents more than just scientific principles. It embodies a commitment to safety and protection. It focuses on maintaining an enhanced quality of life, one meal at a time. Let us pause for a moment. We have discussed mercury, toxins, and concealed risks associated with commonly consumed fish. However, at the core of the matter, this pertains to a matter of greater significance. Observing a cherished individual make decisions that gradually jeopardize their well-being, often without awareness, is distressing. It is possible that your mother believes she is making a healthy choice by selecting salmon. It could be your grandfather who continues to relish his preferred fried fish from the diner each Friday. They are making efforts to act in accordance with ethical principles. They are continuing their established practices. However, these seemingly minor daily decisions may be gradually impacting their health negatively. It is evident that this is occurring. It is evident that they are becoming increasingly fatigued, experiencing an increase in forgetfulness, experiencing an increase in illness frequency. One might question whether it is merely a matter of age. However, at times, it also pertains to what is presented to them. That presents a significant challenge. These individuals are the ones who nurtured and guided us, who provided us with everything. In these later years, they are the individuals who require our support the most. However, it is important to note, this moment, at this very instant, is where the transformation occurs. This is not a matter of fear. This is not a matter of guilt. This pertains to authority. Your strength. As you are now informed, you are aware of the key indicators to consider. You are aware of the decisions that involve risk and those that provide comfort. What about that knowledge? That concludes all the information. You can tactfully steer your parents towards more favorable options, ensuring they feel comfortable throughout the process. Assisting your spouse in making more informed decisions at the grocery store is beneficial. It is advisable to review the menu prior to placing an order, not from apprehension, but from a place of appreciation. In our later years, love manifests in this manner. It appears to involve verifying a label. It appears to be an inquiry regarding the origin of this fish. It appears we should consider exploring new options this week. Therefore, I would like to emphasize that there is no need for you to eliminate fish from your diet. You can continue to enjoy your favorites. It is essential to approach this with greater intention. Select wild-caught options. Select options with low mercury content. Select options that enhance your well-being rather than those that detract from it. Even minor adjustments can lead to significant improvements in cognitive clarity, bone strength, cardiovascular health, and sleep quality. Isn't that what we all aspire to achieve in our later years? Isn't that what we aspire to achieve for those we care about? Let today mark the beginning. This evening, please inspect your refrigerator. Examine the contents within. Examine the labels carefully. Reflect on the knowledge you've acquired today, and consider taking a small actionable step forward. Only one. It may involve substituting the large eye tuna with canned light options. Consider replacing that farmed salmon from a sale bin with a cleaner, wild-caught option. Engaging in a discussion at the dinner table about collaboratively making informed choices can be beneficial. Change initiates not through grand theatrical actions, but through thoughtful, compassionate steps taken towards the right direction. It is important to understand that regardless of your age or health history, you maintain control over your circumstances. Your health is a priority that deserves attention. It remains attainable for you. Improved decisions. Improved circumstances ahead. They are feasible and can commence immediately. Caring for yourself or a loved one extends beyond just medicine and appointments. It pertains to your daily actions, your dietary choices, your knowledge, your actions in response to it. I assure you, these minor details, they have a significant impact. Let us take a moment to consolidate our thoughts. In summary, there are 6 types of fish that older adults should carefully consider before including them in their meals. King mackerel is often regarded as a healthy option. However, it contains significant levels of mercury. Tilefish, frequently concealed in dining options, poses a subtle risk to cognitive health. Swordfish, refined in appearance yet formidable in nature. Ahi tuna and big eye tuna are popular choices in sushi. However, they may pose risks, particularly for individuals with older immune systems. The concern with farmed salmon lies not in the fish itself, but rather in the methods employed for its cultivation. Imported catfish is readily available and affordable. However, it frequently carries concealed, detrimental implications. At first glance, each one may appear harmless, even beneficial. However, as we have discovered today, each presents a distinct risk to the aging population, from mercury accumulation to inflammation and harmful bacteria. As one ages, the immune system becomes less efficient and organ sensitivity increases, making those risks significant. I would like to hear your thoughts now. Have you or a family member frequently consumed any of these fish without being aware of the associated risks? Was one of them a regular feature in your household, as it was in mine for many years? Please share your thoughts in the comment section.